So here we have, basically, it was rusty. I cleaned it up, but you can see that it was made from a file that someone bent the handle over on and sharpened, maybe for a scraper or a chisel. But I'm going to put a handle on it and turn it into a scraper while using a heat gun. So after I cleaned the rust off, I ground this so that the sides don't stick out, they're parallel, and so that this bent part, which will be in the handle, locking it in, is not raggedy and about the same. Also, we put a little micro bevel on the front edge, so it's not just a straight, sharp, dentable thing. This is a piece of pine that was given to me by the future operator. You can see it's rough because it was probably cut from a full dimension 2x4. That's probably fully 2. And obviously it's a full 1 inch, if not more. So I'm going to cut it in half, and let's see. The handle will be about that far into, or the tool will be about that far in, locked in, and then the other half of it, I'm gonna make it about that long, and the other half of the piece of wood will go on top with the tool, mortise into the wood, so that it's an actual real handle. Probably put a bolt through it too. Alright, first we rough mill it, see it's not straight, and make sure these 2 lines are parallel, and it's pretty flat, but anyway, rough mill time. Okay, now that's straight and square, and speaking of square, that's where the nail went through, and that's where it got toe out. This is where the head was, came down there. I'm just going to take this now and cut a parallel to the bottom edge on the table saw. Now, I'm going to chop that bad end off. That's that one. And chop that off. Just here and here. So I get 2 equal length pieces. Okay. This is my raw stock. About the right length handle. The only problem is it's too big to hold. So I'm going to have to make it skinnier by trimming these 2 down until they seem about the right thickness overall to be a handle. Obviously, I'm going to cut that nail hole off. It'll be about 5/8 plus the other piece, whatever that side is. It doesn't have to be 2 equal. This is 5/8 and 5/8 is 8 3/4. Very good. Here's our nail hole. Gone. We got 2 5/8 pieces of wood. This is very old, very dry. This is 120 years old. Here's that layout. But I don't know if that person used to be actually side of the piece. So I'm going to take that part and mold it into that one. And like the hang, I'm calling it. You mold it into here, and then we'll do that part from the side. So half will be in here, half will be in here. So now I'm going to route these out and with a pretty small router actually, and I like to cut this line and this line with a saw and hit them with a chisel to strike them. So I got a clean cut edge to go to, so I'm going to do that now. The saw cuts, they go a little deep, but they don't go all the way to the end without cutting a long ways into there. So that's where I'll use the chisel, and also to cut the cross grain. So now I got that cut across, blah blah blah. It's outlined. As you can see, those lines aren't parallel. They're along the lines of the taper of the tool. That's about right. So now I have to do the other half. Looks like about a 1/16 in plus that thing. Okay, the bottom line is the new depth. Same pattern. Here we go. There's a little gap there, so I gotta open it up. Figure out where to shave it just a bit and glue it all together. Okay, so there's that nice fit. I'm going to take it home because I have my epoxy there, and I'm going to bolt it through with one of these, which, you know, you call it a sex bolt or a Chicago bolt. It's like a rivet, but it screws together. But I got some bigger ones. These just won't work. I got some bigger ones at home, which is where I'm going to epoxy, and I'll just drill it out there. I have a drill press too. All right. So, further preparation. I got that mortised in. That's the other side. And what I want to do before I glue the blade in is tighten this up and do a little shaping on the handle. Then I'll use the epoxy. Okay, so then I take the bandsaw, cut some pieces out, and make a handle-ish shape. That's pretty good. I'll be rounding the edges on this, and I'll show you how I do that. Roughed in. I'm going to cut this up in the bandsaw too, because I know it'll be more handle-ish. So now we go at it with the spindle sander. Okay, the lengths we have to go through to drill to fasten everything together in a clamp or jig to drill a hole in the right spot, of course, through a piece of ridiculously old and hard steel. Voila! Yeah, that's a hole. So now I can epoxy it and bolt it together, and then around the corners once it's cured. Mix in the epoxy. We got to fill a few gaps and then glue those guys. And I always I'm gonna glue pins on those. I'm gonna glue that screw into this for my plane. I'm gonna do a little patching on this where it's not just right. Oh, I can't find one at the moment. Maybe that one in there. But there's a few. Anyway, so I might even glue that thing together. Let's see. Yeah. Stuff is pretty thick. You gotta mix it even. It takes quite a bit of energy. And of course, we mash the hell out of it. Now I gotta scrape that crap off of there. How much is too much? About a golf ball. But you know what? I can buy more and not enough, and having to mix more right in the middle of curing other epoxy is so bad.